I am speaking with,
Brad Cook from Informatica.
and Brad, you gave a phenomenal presentation, and the two things that I was most intrigued by was building out the candidate experience. Let's start with that, because we've talked about this a lot and about how it can be really poor in terms of poor follow-up with people that don't essentially make it all the way to getting hired. Explain what you guys are doing.
So candidate experience for me really starts at the basics. How does someone get into the job in the first place is really once you've already got them excited. But candidate experience is about the brand, making sure people are aware of what's going on in the marketplace, what it's like to work inside. We do a lot of work with the interview cycle. So when someone is locked into Informatica, the interview cycle is a critical portion. We don't let managers just ask any question or ask the same question over and over again. We build a structured interview guide. We have handouts, so any candidate coming into the organization knows exactly who they're meeting, what their bios of the individuals are, where the meeting rooms are all of the time. So little things like that for me makes a difference. Once we have a brand on the outside, you have a promise of what the inside is going to be looking like. So the culture, what's the company like to work for, that has to resonate with the brand on the outside. You can't have a brand on the outside and then have something different on the inside once someone gets there, because you're giving them a false promise. So little things like that. Follow-up is critical for me. As a sales professional, I always cared about making sure that someone was called back. If someone says they're going to call, they're going to call. But if a candidate has taken the time to apply for a job and they're not going to fit, let's disposition them. Don't wait for another 3 weeks until you build up enough slate to say, okay, that's enough, I'm going to disposition everybody else. Do it immediately. I've had a number of people apply for jobs when I was a hiring manager, and I've replied immediately within 24 hours and said, thanks for applying, we have better people in the candidates, but really appreciate it. Come back to our website another time, build a job agent, something may come up that's suitable. I've had people come back and say, thank you. Thank you for just giving me the time. I'm a human being, and saying thanks but no thanks. So it's the little things like that, and again, put yourself in a sales position, put yourself as a customer, how would you like to be treated as a customer, and apply the same principles.
Let me dig a little bit into, because I'm always fascinated by how the people who don't get the job are handled, whether it's like immediate rejection or they get to the very final round. Have you seen success in terms of those people acting as referrals, acting as people that you've hired later on? I mean, have you turned that sort of goodwill to an ROI for hiring?
I'd love to say yes, but the answer is no. It's certainly a direction I'm trying to get to. We do a manager survey every time someone hires a rec. In the past, at previous companies, we've done a candidate survey. We're building that at the moment, but not just the candidate that got the job. I want to do a candidate survey for the folks that didn't get the job, because they're the nuggets. They're the golden nuggets that are going to tell me where my process is broken. The people that got the job are already excited about coming to the company, but the people that didn't, they'll help me understand what's working well and what's not working well. So they're the things that I have on the radar. I'm certainly not there yet.
Well, you've only been there for 18 months, so I can't expect you to do a lot. I mean, heck, we give our president 4 years to figure something out. So with that probably has a lot to building your employer brand. Explain what you're doing in that area.
So to build the employer brand, we're doing two things. We're trying to connect the outside world with the inside. So we're doing a lot of branding on different social media sites, Glassdoor, Career Bliss, different types of things, career profiles on LinkedIn, Facebook. It's about creating the awareness out there of who we are. With the new website coming out soon, we're actually launching all of the new branding aspects together, so you won't see much there today, but over the next couple of weeks you'll start to see that coming out there. And it's just about creating the promise. It's creating an awareness of what the culture really is. What does it feel like to be on the inside? We do a new hire orientation, and what I'm struggling with at the moment is if I ask somebody, what's the culture? They'll say, I feel it, but I can't put a word to it. So we're now trying to put words around it with what I talked about before, the 300 down to 12 down to 4, those emotions. We're putting those emotions of what we want to be recognized with for Informatica when they come through. So it's about the way that we build the tone and the voice of our communication that will draw people back in to get a good feeling of what it's like to work inside the company. Anyone can say we're an innovative company. Anyone can say there's no politics. But when you get in here and you see it and you feel it, that's what makes the difference to a culture.